All right, hey everybody, welcome to episode 15 of the Stop and Give Me 20 podcast. 20 minutes with some of the world's top fitness pros. I'm your host, Anthony Rana. You can check out the show notes at stop20podcast.com. That's stop20podcast.com. Before you do that, go to iTunes and subscribe to the show. We'd love for you to leave a rating and a review. It helps us out. For today's episode, I have on Nikki Metzger, and Nikki is the owner of BODI, B-O-D-I, in Scottsdale, Arizona, which was named one of the best boutique gyms in America by Details magazine. She is a Nike master trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and she was Women's Health Magazine's Next Fitness Star in 2015. One thing you want to do is Google Nikki's the reveal when they announced it. You'll see her crying, so it was pretty cool. Nikki, thanks for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I didn't want to embarrass you, but when I was doing that research, I loved it. That was such a great clip when they announced it. So, and you're so passionate, so it just comes right out. Love it.
It really does.
Nikki, tell us, what is your story? What was that spark for your fitness lifestyle?
Well, I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, so I definitely had to entertain myself. And I grew up living next door to my grandparents who were farmers. So I was over there all the time. So being outside, being active, and working hard were just everything they stood for. And I guess all those things have just stuck with me throughout my life and have translated into my fitness work.
So did you were you just more active, or were you lifting weights or like running around the farm? I mean, what was what got you really kind of into it?
I'm like one of my grandpa's favorite grandchildren, so I didn't really have to do any manual labor.
Nice.
But yeah, just always, like, everything we did was just outside, and everything was about being active. Definitely with kids nowadays, how a lot of times they're inside, like playing video games and stuff. Like, I was the extreme opposite of that. I was, climbing on everything, building forts, doing all that kind of stuff. So like just being active and outside was just a big part of my childhood.
I love it. So the transition to maybe the gym was probably just like no big deal for you.
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
I mean, I basically like to make the world my playground and the gym my playground. So I guess those go two and two together. Yeah,
I mean, you see a lot of people, like I've had a lot of, working with golfers, a lot of guys come in and, they're in their 40s or 50s, some even in their 60s, where they were like, tell me a little bit about like your past workouts. Well, I never worked out before. I'm like, are you kidding me? So it's funny how some of these people, the movements just didn't come natural to them because they weren't as active as maybe you were.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who was your superhero growing up? Who was that person that kind of influenced you the most?
Yeah, well, just like, saying I was always over at my grandparents, like it was definitely my grandpa. Like he was seriously like the best man that I ever knew, like he's the one that showed me like what work ethic is and like how hard work pays off. He's really silly. So he's always showing me that like you have to have fun while you're doing it. Otherwise it's not worth it. And then he's just always showing me too, like that you need to have like a good partner in crime and like love of your life, because without that person, you really don't have anyone to share like all those amazing experiences with. So he's kind of just taught me kind of all areas of my life, and he was the best.
It's what I love about that is, you hear a lot about somebody who was a big influence on somebody, and they talk about discipline or hard work, but they leave out the having fun part. And anybody that's met you could see, that's a big part of like who you are. So I think it's cool that he also instilled that in you.
No, absolutely, for sure.
Who is your superhero now? Who do you look up to, or who's doing some great things that you feel like you want to emulate?
I don't have one superhero for sure. Like I definitely have multiple superheroes. It's for sure like you and my fellow Nike master trainers, as well as some other people in the industry like BJ Gador from Men's Health. Like all those people really keep me going and keep me motivated. And I just love learning from all of them.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't even know. I think you might be the sixth Nike trainer, master trainer on. I think somebody's going to think that this is an advertisement for Nike, this podcast. But you're right. I've met so many amazing people that when I thought of this podcast, there were all these people like you and Kirsty Gotso and Floor and Brian Nunez and Frank Dolan. All these people, obviously I knew Frank for a lot longer than that, but just all these people that were assembled in that one room. And I think sometimes, and I've said this before, is that like sometimes you judge people you think, they're just another pretty face. Because I think in the past, like some of the things that I've seen with some of these events, but the last event that we had been part of, you and I were in June or July, June. So it was just this kind of confluence of all these amazing trainers who've done so many good things. And I think I think you're right. When you look at some people that there's so many that were doing so many good things, it was, you can point to them.
Absolutely. And I think we're all the same, but yet we're all so different that we have like all different qualities and different skill levels that we can always take something from each other, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, and I think there's another thing where I think when you don't know somebody, you look up to, you're looking over at people like you and Floor and all these people, and you're saying, man, they can get up in front of all these people, because that's not really the way I grew up in fitness. It was the opposite, where it was no group training. So we look at you guys and we're like, wow, how do they do that? And Holly and all these people. And then, it's at the same time, I would talk to them and they would say the same thing. Like, well,
we look at you guys like, oh man, they're so much smarter than us.
It's pretty cool though. Definitely. But I think what you see is how smart all of those people were who were doing like people like you were smart. You're smarter than we thought you were, right? You're smarter than you look, I guess.
I'll take it.
Nikki, who are you trying to be a superhero to? You have the gym, you've trained so many people. Where are you going with your message and your business?
I guess it definitely is being a superhero to my members at the gym, because those are the people that I see every single day, and I know them more on a personal level, so it's definitely like being a superhero to them and just continuing to make sure that I am, giving them the best training that they possibly can, but also like going back to making sure they're having an absolute blast while they're doing it.
Just from some of the videos, I can see that you're definitely doing that.
Thank you.
You were in Chicago for 7 years, working. I think you were managing some people. You worked for NTC, and you moved to Scottsdale, and you opened up BODI with your husband. You've kind of had a really diverse run here. Talk to us about some of the good things that you think are happening in the industry right now.
I think just like in the good things that fitness is accessible to everyone right now. And there's so many options. Like it doesn't matter, if you want to do a boot camp style class, if you want to dance, if you want to do yoga, like anything is there for you, as well as how you're going to work out. Are you going to go to a gym? Are you going to watch a DVD? Are you going to do an app? Are you going to do something online? Like, I just think like how accessible everything is. I think that's something that's really amazing.
Talk to me about boutique gyms, because Kirsty Godso had mentioned something about that she's working with Equinox on. You were named one of the best boutique gyms in America by Details Magazine. Talk to me about what that means. What exactly in your mind, what does boutique mean?
I think it's a smaller studio, so it's more personalized training, but like in a group setting, typically. I mean, and definitely what more of my gym is. So I think you're getting a lot more personalized attention than you would at like a lot of the bigger gyms. And it's a little bit more unique.
Now, what do you feel like the future is with all of this online stuff. You talked about growing up being outside. And for me, I think the gym has gone more to outside of the gym, right? With all of these, like Tough Mudders and Spartan races. Talk to me about, because you have a good handle on all this stuff, because again, your progression with in the industry to opening your own facility. Where do you see things going? Do you think it's just going to stay in this boutique area? Do you think that online training will affect you too much? Do you feel like it's a can't beat them, join them? Where do you think it's going?
I think there's going to be there's two different kinds of people, like there's definitely going to be people that are like feel more comfortable working out at home or more alone, and like maybe they just want to use those apps, do the online workouts, that kind of stuff. But at my gym, like the community is like one of the biggest and best parts about the gym. So people love going there and seeing their friends and motivating each other. Like it's more than just a place to go and work out. It's like it's their little happy spot, So I think that my clients wouldn't be as successful or enjoy it as much if they were doing the online training. But other people, like, they're really intimidated going into a group setting like that and, afraid that people are going to be watching them or judging them. So those people are going to definitely benefit more from the apps and the online training and different things like that. So it's just, I think, based on personality.
Absolutely. Talk to me about what you're doing there. What are some conscious things you're doing to build the community at BODI?
So we do a lot of things like outside the gym too. We do different like social hours, or, we have a golf outing coming up, and we have that kind of stuff that we're doing like outside the gym. So it's a good chance for, maybe people don't get to talk to each other much in class, but then once we go out in more of a social setting, then, people get to know each other a little bit more. But then we also do like different in-house challenges, like for starting in October till the end of this month, we've done a 90-day challenge. So you had to complete 60 workouts within those 90 days, and every day it's almost like a little graph, and every day you go in, you get to like highlight your little square, and everyone kind of gets to see where everyone's at and kind of motivate each other there too. So we do a lot of in-house challenges as well as like the outside community building things that we do.
Love it. I think it's really the way of the future too, is because I think we need to be kind of like what your grandpa taught you, right? I mean, we need to be more than just this place where somebody goes to work out, because I think it's all over. We're seeing more and more gyms be like, CrossFit did an amazing job, and now you're seeing even more people. And I think, Alan Cosgrove talks about, what do you do when people reach their goal? After a while, they're just maintaining. You have to come up with other things to do. And I think that's great stuff that you're doing there. Awesome. Nikki, have you been to any seminars or workshops lately?
Yeah, the last one I went to was Perform Better. And then I also was at Perform Better. I did the Mike Wales Functional Strength Coach certification. So that's the latest one I did. I did that in August.
How was the certified functional training?
I loved it. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
It does. Did you do that by yourself, or do you take staff to that? What do you do for that?
No, I did that one just by myself. I just went through this whole thing by myself. Yeah, it was good. Well, one of the other Nike trainers was there too, but that just kind of happened by coincidence.
What about your biggest takeaway from the Perform Better weekend?
I think the biggest takeaway would probably be the focus on proper like warm-up, mobility, and recovery. Like, I think this is something that has been overlooked, especially in gyms that work with general population. Just because those clients, they want to come to your class, they want to get sweaty, they want to get their butt kicked. So, it's definitely my job as a trainer to be implementing and educating my clients on the importance of this and why we're doing it.
Love it.
So definitely that whole like mobility and recovery is definitely probably the thing I noticed in pretty much in the certification, in any like little talk I would go into, is definitely a big focus.
Very cool. All right, Nikki, now it's time for the stop and give me 5 rapid fire questions and answers. All right, you ready?
Scared.
Don't be scared. You've done a lot of stuff. You've accomplished a lot. What's the fitness accomplishment you're most proud of?
It would definitely be opening opening my gym. Absolutely. I did, because it's something I've always dreamt about forever, but didn't know if it would ever become a possibility. So I opened it, and it actually has worked.
Yeah, there you go. That helps too. Yeah. What was the coolest or best part of being, you won the Women's Health Magazine's Next Fitness Star in 2015. What was like the best part of that? What was the best part of that experience?
I think it's just really cool being able to create your own, DVD produced by one of the top fitness magazines. I mean, that's something that like a lot of people wouldn't be like able to afford to do. And then they were the ones that featured me in their magazine and advertised it. And then I've got to be on their social media a lot. So basically just, I guess the best part is just it's allowed me to reach a lot more people.
Absolutely. You've traveled a lot too for fitness. What's been your coolest fitness experience?
I guess pretty much anything I do with Nike. I went to Paris 2 summers ago. Went to Paris with them and got to shoot my own workout for the NTC app. So that was pretty awesome.
Love it. Yeah, anything Nike does, it's awesome.
Anything they do is just next level.
They treat you right. Yes. All right, you're from Wisconsin. You were in Chicago for 7 years. So Wisconsin/Chicago or Scottsdale?
Well, Scottsdale. That's why I'm here now. Chicago's amazing, but I really can't do the cold anymore. Even though I am a Midwest girl, just can't do it. And Scottsdale, I don't know if you've ever been, but like it really does have it all. Like amazing restaurants, shopping, mountains everywhere that you can hike. It's really just my happy place.
Awesome. Okay, hardest part of owning a business with your husband?
So I think, because my husband's not actually in fitness. So he is like the finance guy. So he's a little bit more behind the scenes, I guess you could say. But I think the hardest part is just, we're always together. So we don't really have a lot of alone time. And then, since he is a little bbit more behind the scenes, I can tend to like boss him around a little bit. Being
there you go.
I need you to build me this. I need you to go get me this. That kind of stuff.
Does he give you a hard time? Like, hey, you're buying too many medicine balls. What?
Yeah. For the most part, he's the sweetest guy. So pretty much if I tell him to do something, he'll do it.
There you go. We need to have another conversation, because every time I train my wife, she's like, you're the worst trainer ever. I don't know how you have any clients. So it never works for us.
Yeah. He secretly likes getting his butt kicked by me.
There you go. Speaking of your business with your husband, what is a project that you're working on that you're getting really excited about?
Yeah, so I am in the process of opening up a new facility. So I'm basically shut down my current facility, move it to this new one, which is double the size, which is going to allow me to do a lot more stuff, get a lot more of equipment, and just really take my gym to the next level, which I'm super excited about.
How long have you had how long have you had BODI?
Yeah, so January 1st will be its 3-year anniversary. So we'll be going on to year 4, which will be pretty cool.
Nice. Congratulations on the expansion. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, you're on the farm in Wisconsin, and you see little Nikki. What are you going to tell her? What's the advice you're going to give her?
I guess I would say, it's okay if you're not the smartest kid in school or the richest kid in school, but if you keep believing in yourself and living with passion, that, you honestly, you can make your dreams come true. And just another thing, I guess, also there will be people that will try to bring you down along the way and can make you feel like you can't do it, and you just can't listen to those people.
Love it. Well, I can say that anybody that's been around you knows you're extremely passionate, and you really are a joy to be around. You're so happy, and the energy that you exude is contagious. So
thank you.
Thanks so much for coming on. You're doing so many great things in the industry. So congratulations, and thanks again for coming on.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, that's going to do it for episode 15 of the Stop and Give Me 20 podcast. Thanks again to Nikki Metzger. Make sure to check out all the links to all her stuff at stop20podcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave us a review and a rating. It'll really help us out. My name's Anthony Renna. Thanks so much for stopping by.